Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So this is going to be an approximate 6 months update on my Xsedeveria blue mist. Now over here on the screen, as you can see, this was almost 6 months back, but let's give 7 months, because here as you can see on the screen they already had pups and roots, so probably we can give that 1 month of buffer. So I would say this was almost 7 months back, wherein my Xsedeveria blue mist leaf propagation were starting to put out roots and pups, and it took me a long time because I was not very sure if they are going to be successful. There were around 17 leaves in this container that you're seeing. They looked very healthy. Some of them were not very healthy. They had already showed up signs of wrinkles, and I was not very sure if it's going to make it through, because after that there were crazy rains in my city, with so much of wind, with so much of rain, but somehow I managed to protect them. And this is how they look after approximately 7 months. You can see they are doing quite well. So out of those 17 leaves, probably I am just left with 13 pups, so the rest of them did not make it. But to be honest, I didn't even think that I'm going to be having so many pups, because the way the rains were in my city, the amount of moisture, the amount of crazy climate, I was not very sure that if I'm going to even make it with so many pups. But somehow I managed. I placed some kind of glass over it, not completely packing it up, but kind of sliding it over it. I used a plastic sheet as well. As much as I could possibly, I tried to keep them away from that extra moisture that could enter into the soil. I placed some small thermocol pieces beneath, and I kept a plastic sheet over, or I think I kept a glass slab over, slanting it, so that the rainwater does not fall completely on it. I will show you how the glass was kept. It was a very dirty glass that was just lying around. Thankfully that came into rescue. I am happy that I didn't throw that piece of glass away, because that did come in use. And today I have I have around 13 pups in this, which are yet not of a good size that I can transplant them. I'm still going to keep them in this. The best part about this, there are 3 of them that are of huge, not a huge, but they are of a decent size. And the best part is that they are all well hydrated, though I have not watered this for a really long time, because it has a little bit of coco peat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them be in this for some more time, because a lot of people tend to ask me this question: when is the time to repot the pups? And at times I've seen that some of the people have pups of this size, and they plan to move it out. That is not a very good idea, because you need to understand that particular plant is getting comfortable in that zone. So whenever you tend to see that the pups are very tiny, please don't move it. There is no reason to move the pups. They are still very young. Their roots are not completely developed, and a lot of people are in a hurry to move their propagation, because I do see a lot of these posts wherein the mother leaf is still attached to the pup, and they want to know when to move the plant. Always remember, the mother leaf should completely get dislocated from the pup. It should dry out naturally. Once the pup is on its own, let it reach for a couple of more centimeters. Now for example, these 3 of them, I can definitely move them to another pot, but I'm still going to let them be in this, because I want them to grow a little bit more bigger. Now the coco peat was very less in this, so I'm not much worried about it. I'm not watering it a lot. I just tend to moisten the soil, because they're still very young, so they require a little bit of moisture, so that is working out really well. But now it has been 7 months, so probably in another 6 months they might reach double the size of this, or I would say 6 to 7 or 8 months. Let's say another 8 months, and they should be of a good size. But let's see how it tends to work out. As of now, I'm not going to move them. I'm going to keep them in this itself. But whenever I am moving them, I will definitely make a video on it. But I just wanted to give you guys an advice that whenever you see your pups of this size, or whenever the pups are still attached with the mother leaf, please do not move them. Please do not repot them. That is going to damage. The moment you're going to take out the pup with the mother leaf from one pot to another, the moment you're going to move it to another pot, the pup will start to have issues. The pup will start to deteriorate day by day, and then the mother leaf will also rot off, and then that is going to affect the pup. So don't be in a hurry. It is your own succulent. Let it be in the same pot. Nobody is going to steal your propagation. It is going to grow healthy in it. the more you are not going to touch them, the more healthy they are going to grow. This container was kept aside. I didn't even check on them. The only time that I used to check on them is when I used to water them, and at times I used to even forget to water them, but there was so much of moisture in the environment that they used to do quite well with that itself. So it's just advice from me. If you tend to have a leaf propagation, please don't be in a hurry to move them. Let them be sitting in that same container. Nothing is going to happen. You just have to give the basic care, which is the watering. Whenever you feel that the soil is dry, just go ahead and water it. You can do bottom watering. You can even do top watering. I will just do a little bit of top watering and show it to you how it's done. So you can take a bottle that has a nozzle like this and just take it very close to the succulent, the pup, and then just water it around the root area like this. And you can do this for all of your pups, but you have to be extremely careful that you do not drop any water on the pups. Even in case if you accidentally drop it as well, it's absolutely okay. You can blow it off with the succulent blower. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is just water around wherever the root area is at the base of the soil, and that is going to help the succulent absorb that water. So you can do this for all of your leaf propagations once they have reached now this would be like half a centimeter. I'm not very sure. Probably it's half a centimeter, or this one might be like around 1 centimeter in diameter. So they are quite young, and they require a little bit more care compared to our adult succulents. Like, you shouldn't keep the soil completely bone dry. So whenever you see that the soil is starting to dry, the upper layer, let's say around 3 to 4 inches of soil is dry, you can always do, if you are not very well experienced with this, then you can always use a stick and check, or you can use the moisture meter as well. And now as you can see, I'm almost done with the watering, and I haven't splashed any water on the pup, so I don't have to blow off any water. So this is how you can continue with your watering. Now I'm not going to water it completely, otherwise the table is going to get wet, but this is how you can continue watering it. And so our watering is completed. So you can do this method as well. It's going to work out really well, but the most important thing is, do not disturb the succulent quite often by moving them around. That also tends to hamper the health a lot. This is what I have seen from my experience. The more the movement of succulents, the more it is going to affect their growth. If you tend to leave your succulents in one place with all the right conditions, the succulent is going to do quite well. In fact, what I have noticed is a lot of the adult succulents, if you don't move them quite often, they tend to put out pups much faster than the succulent that has been moved quite often. So it's all up to you. Try to find a place wherein you can keep them permanently, wherein they are not going to come in contact with a lot of direct sun, they are not going to come in contact with rain, or they are not going to come in contact with any snow or anything, or frost. So you need to find a place so that you can keep them over there for a long period of time and let them grow. You don't have to do anything. I haven't added any fertilizers as well. It's just doing good on its own. There are some weeds, I'm just leaving them as it is. I'm not disturbing anything because I do not want to disturb the roots at all. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.